It felt good to be back in Penang, where we could once again enjoy treats like baked beans on toast. With no pressures on my time, I was able to take a more leisurely approach to exploring the island, and in particular Georgetown. Georgetown was named after King George III of England, and there was still evidence of the British influence there. Of course it wasn't all pleasure, and there was work to do, like applying for my Thai visa, but generally it was a lot of fun relaxing and reacquainting myself with such treats as coconut milk and sugarcane drinks, murtabaks and all the other food treats on offer. The island had plenty of good beaches, but unfortunately they were somewhat polluted by the large amount of shipping coming and going through the Straits of Malacca. When it was time to move on again, I caught a ferry back to Butterworth on mainland Malaysia. It was on the ferry that I came across this interesting sign. From Butterworth I took an outstation taxi up to Hat Yai in southern Thailand. These old American cars packed in as many passengers as they could, but were cheap and not too uncomfortable. From Hat Yai I took a bus north to the town of Suratani, the departure point for the ferry to Koh Samui, an island in the Gulf of Thailand, and a popular attraction for backpackers. This is where I caught the overnight ferry, a 10-hour crossing on a very overcrowded boat that made me glad the sea was mirror calm that night. Koh Samui had several fine beaches, and I decided to go and stay at Chawang Beach, mainly on the recommendation of other travellers. There was a good selection of huts to rent, basic but comfortable, and right on the beach, with showers and toilets nearby. There was also a great selection of places to eat, so that we could visit a different one each day. In short, we wanted for nothing. This is the view that I had one morning after getting up very early before it got hot and climbing a hill behind the beach. But normally life was no more strenuous than taking a leisurely swim or sunbathing on the magnificent beach. My journey back to the mainland was somewhat faster, as I took what they called the Express Ferry, a weird-looking boat in the shape of an aeroplane fuselage. It looked as though it would easily roll over, but proved to be quite stable, and cut the travelling time in half. From Suratani I caught the train up to Bangkok. There were no seats available, and I spent most of the journey sitting on parcels in the mail wagon. I re-explored Bangkok, again with more time than on my outward trip to Australia. This is the King's Palace. One way to escape the heat of the Thai capital was to take a ride on a water taxi, small boats that went up and down the river. It was also a good way to see some of the best wats or temples, such as Wat Phra Keo, Wat Arun and Wat Shraket. One of the most famous Wats was Wat Po, also known as the Temple of the Reclining Buddha. Also on the water was the famous Bangkok Floating Market, which was a very colourful spectacle and not to be missed.